Welcome to part 4 of HeroClix's HeroClix team building template. Going on to the next team here, focusing on the Latveria team of the core figures, Invisible Woman and Molecule Man. And as you can see, I already have everything here filled out. And what we're actually going to do is I'm going to use this template here to kind of rework the team that I had previously. So let's get started so that way I can show you. So I'm going to play Molecule Man at his 30 points and Sue Storm here at her 100 point levels. I'm going to go to HC ROMs to start building this team. I'm going to look for Latveria. So Molecule Man is going to be at his 30 point level. And Sue Storm is going to be at her, well, she only has 1 point value. Let's talk about the core figures here. Why is this a core? Well, you can potentially have 8 free pieces of blocking terrain, focusing on map control, limiting the placements that you have on your opponents. And while I did have some support figures in Valeria Richards and Ramatut in the actual video I showcased, anytime I showcase a team, the important part are the core figures. Anything else that you add afterwards, that's entirely up to you. This template here is my recommendation on things to add so you can have a more well-rounded, more competitive team. So getting started here, now that you know what the core is meant to do, let's figure out a way to enhance this combo. We have Mastermind here. Mastermind here and a combo of Morgan Le Fay and Wasp. I chose these two. Mastermind here, for example, can, with his radioactive clay, can actually draw lines of fire through blocking terrain. So you can have those barriers up and it's not going to bother him one bit. And Wasp here, you can mix and match keywords thanks to Morgan Le Fay here. Morgan Le Fay's ability here, my alternate Avengers. When establishing theme teams, you may treat Avengers and Latveria as a single named keyword. And she has Perplex. Ooh. So she's a great support character. But she, I don't know if you noticed this, she's several places because she has several roles. And these characters are not always limited to one specific role. So that means that Wasp here can become part of the theme team without it hindering us. And I chose her specifically because she has an ability that says Wasp Size Annoyance. Opposing characters within 5 squares can't use improved targeting abilities. They would have to be outside of 6 squares or further away from Wasp. If your opponents happen to have improved targeting destroys blocking terrain, Wasp just makes it that much more difficult for them to get around the barrier. For now, I feel like having 2 barrier makers adds enough defense, so I would want to add some offense in Mastermind. So I'm going to go ahead and add Mastermind here. Oh, his name's not Mastermind, it's Puppet Master. I just remembered. And when I said it earlier, I knew there was something wrong with that. I felt wrong saying it. Okay, 40 points. We can squeeze them in there. So right now our build total is at 170 points. Next are support figures. We're looking at Mastermind has Outwit. Sue Storm has Outwit, Probability Control, Leadership, Perplex. Molecule Man at 30 points has Outwit, Perplex, Barrier. I would choose Ramatut here in this particular case for a couple of reasons, actually. His 10 attack value is not great. I will say that right off the bat. Of course, I would have preferred for him to start at 11 attack, but the fact that he has Leadership, so he can take tokens off of one of the more important characters like Sue Storm or Puppet Master for now. You can also use Probability Control, not that, but when Ramatut uses Probability Control in an attack roll after the reroll is immediately finalized. So he can actually lock down other teams from being able to just constantly harass you with their own team Probability Controls or Probability Control rolls. This brings our build to 220. And this is why I was saying, use this as a guide, as a visual guide to kind of help you build your team and not necessarily be so rigid with the structure. Because now I have to start considering with 80 points left, what format am I building for, right? That's probably something that I should figure out at the very beginning. So if I'm going for 300 points, that means I got 80 points left. So we'll stick with that. We're going to do 300 points modern because the figures I already put here as examples are already modern anyway. Modern as of right now anyway. So with 80 points left, this team is not a team I would see myself using in hyper competitive play. So I would not worry too much about this category here, the meta or loco scene. I would try to jump to one of these last 2 remaining categories to reduce some of the weaknesses which is close combat because none of these characters are competent melee attackers. And this is part of the overlap that I had been talking about, that Lord Doom here, not only is he a great meta figure, but he can also be a great weakness reducer for this particular team, because this team has no close combat, no good close combat figures anyway. Sue Storm is okay. Puppet Master can kind of mind control him away. Ramatut has penetrating psychic blast and doesn't have improved targeting, so options are very limited here. Another strategy I could strike up as well is recruit Morgan Le Fay at her 50-point level, which would leave me 30 points, and then try to look for an Avenger melee figure. But at 30 points, I'm not really giving myself many options there. So instead, I'll just choose to go for Lord Doom, rounding my team up at 295 points. And hey, that's actually enough points for a supplement that would actually work very well with this team. Pumpkin Bombs is only 5 points, which is perfect. That rounds our team up to 300. Grants the characters the effect of Energy Explosion with minimum range 4, knockback but only during range attacks. And adding this to a character like Ramatut makes him deadly, as Energy Explosion combos very well with the top half of his dio with penetrating Psychic Blast. And equipping this object will be a cinch because you already have telekinesis with Sue Storm. So the first turn of the game, this is something that Ramatut can actually equip. I am also going to make all of this information and the templates available on my website, casualclixin.com, in case you'd like to view this information outside of a video. I'll make sure to convert it into a nice viewable file. Until next time, if the dice don't fall your way, remember to at least try to win Fellowship. Thanks for watching.